Welcome back, everyone. My name is Eltimar, and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. This is our evil group going to do some evil things. We can go this way. I remember the other group taught me that I can go this way. I'm not sure if it's any faster, to be completely fair. Probably could have gone to the Temple of the Good Hunt, though. Maybe we should go there first this time. When we hit exhausted, we'll stop, do a quick rest, or when we get to the temple. Either way. It's now rest time.
You are relatively effective.
And there we are. Now we're feeling a little bit better. We are going to need to go back to Dresden at some point, though. We're going to go to the Temple of the Good Hunt. There's a event here that's going to be neat, and is going to cause a death, like 90% of what our evil group does.
This way.
Oh, there's some bones here. It's never a good sign. The Temple of the Good Hunt, clearly a temple of Erastil.
Wherever my legs carry me.
There's a priest named Kyrieru here. The young cleric of Erastil greets you with a shy smile. What an honor it is to see you again, Commander. Welcome to the Temple of Delamere the Blessed. As the temple's prior, I offer my greetings. At the word prior, the priest's face flushes pink. I want to know more about the temple and everything connected to it. Where to begin? The temple is dedicated to Delamere. I mean, of course it's a temple to Erastil, but Delamere was the prior of this temple. I mean, no, I'm the prior of this temple. She is like its blessed mother superior, its patroness. The young man falls silent in confused silence and looks pleadingly at you. What's it like to be a prior? Oh, it's terrifying. I live here alone, you see. People travel a great distance to come here, but I have been given an important task. Here in the World Wound, these temples are needed more than ever so that people don't lose their faith. But that doesn't stop my legs from shaking in terror. When I think of my teacher Rathamus, rest his soul, I just feel like running away. I swear, I would have run long ago, but one thing keeps me here. Erastil would not have granted me these spells for no reason. I cannot let him down. Or the people. I can't let them down either. You're a pathetic child. You should have stayed home and grown turnips. This crusade is no place for you. Kyrieru pales and he opens and closes his mouth wordlessly, looking like a fish. At last the young man meekly hangs his head. You would know best, Commander. I must truly be pathetic. I should have stayed at home and looked after the animals. What should I do now? Tell me about Delamere. She lived in these parts back when Sarkoris was still standing. She was a priestess of Erastil, and the Kellids deeply respected her for her hard nature and her unshakable faith. Erastil blessed her with various wonders, and the common folk knew that she would stand up for them. Delamere did not like city life. She said cities encouraged vile deeds and corruption of the soul. She said the people ought to live in small clans where everyone knows everyone, where everyone is kin, and where every person has a duty to the rest. You can't hide your sins in a village. In a village, everyone knows what kind of a person you are. She had a revelation, and she would travel around the villages and see how people lived there. If any settlement had more than 53 souls, she drove out all the rest and told them to settle elsewhere, because otherwise the villages would grow and turn into little towns. Her methods were harsh, of course, but people still listened to her, because Erastil himself was on her side. She had an edge to her. She single-handedly chased off whole bands of marauders and harassed villagers. And after she died, the temple was built in her honor, in the place where Erastil gifted her with his relics. They say it was here that a white stag emerged from the forest and spoke to her in human voice, telling her that she should hunt it, because it was the will of her lord. Delamere tracked that stag for 3 days and 3 nights through the forest, and when she ran it to ground, she made its antlers into a bow and its hide into armor, and that bow never misses. And Erastil himself blessed the armor so that it repels the strikes of enemies. A fine hunter with a harsh temper, tough and successful, and better yet, someone who was morally opposed to living in those stinking piles the uplanders call cities. Sounds just like me. No, you're nothing like her. I do not share her views, but I respect her faith. Even I think she was a hard woman. Can it truly be wrong for more than 53 people to live in one place? And if there are 54, does the moral decay and treachery begin immediately? Kyrieru catches himself and turns red. But that is my foolishness and ignorance talking. The wisdom of Erastil was revealed to Delamere, so she must have understood the unique mysteries underpinning the world. Everything's clear. I'm just gonna have to go, because there's things we need to do. Specifically,
Forwards!
possibly make Kyrieru explode into rats.
Backwards!
You think I'm kidding, but
I hope
I'm
you
not.
appreciate it.
Because once we open this, I'm begging you, don't go in there. The stairwell opens up. The young cleric lets out a loud scream and addresses you in a quavering voice. I beg you, don't touch the door. I discovered a concealed door in the temple. Where does it lead? Kyato's face goes gray and he falters and stutters over his words. What door? Oh, the door. It leads to the cellar. There's nothing behind that door. Sweat breaks out on the cleric's forehead as he looks at you with pleading eyes. You're a terrible liar. Speak the truth before I lose my temper. Kyato looks to be on the verge of tears. It's all Zenedra. She's a witch. She came here one night, threatened to torture me, and demanded that I let her into the crypt. She says that her friends would be coming here sometimes, and she placed a curse on me. If I allow anyone other than initiated servants of Baphomet into the crypt without her permission, a brood of rats will appear in my stomach, and they will gnaw me from the inside out. But I want to live. I'm not no warrior. I'm a humble shepherd. I never said a word to anyone. They go in there and do things. They whisper. I'm afraid to go in, and you can't go in. There's no one in there now anyways. Zenedra hasn't been here for many days, and Arasta willing she won't come again, accursed witch. What do you expect from a peasant? It's in a peasant's nature to obey those who are stronger, Camellia sighs in exasperation. The little priest has struck up a friendship with our enemies. He betrayed us, hid them in his own temple, and now he's been caught. What should we do with this foolish little bird caught in a snare, master? I know so many wonderful ways of inflicting pain, I scarcely know where to begin. The hunter's gaze grows hungry and predatory, like a wildcat that has spotted a defenseless dove. Pure animal terror is written on Kyato's face. Commander, I won't let you get your claws on me, evil fiend. The commander won't let you get your claws on me, evil fiend. He is just and will hand me over to be tried as the law commands. Well, for your treachery, I sentence you to death. The young man throws a desperate glance towards the door, then raises his fist like a country bruiser. You better not touch me, mister. I'll fight you.
Let's have some fun. I'll rip you apart.
Oh, Kyato. This is not a good fight for you. I'm sorry, my dude. Crypt key. He had a masterwork longbow. And a short sword. He would have died anyways. We're going down into the crypt. For anyone who's like, that was ruthless cutting down that poor cleric, he would have exploded into rats the moment we came down here, so. There's a diary. We'll read it in a little bit here. Glory be to Baphomet, Lord of the Ivory Labyrinth, unbridled consort of Lamashtu, father of the Horned Brood, and it moved to the other side of the screen. Connive, maul, rut, and build labyrinths of lies in his honor. This is the will of his chosen, priestess Zenedra. An antler of monstrous proportions set in steel. The beast to which it belonged must have been as large as a house. Profane depiction of a bull's head drawn in blood. But the important thing is we need to open this thing. Burial rites fulfill several functions. They mitigate the psychological strain of parting with the deceased. They neutralize a source of disease causing miasma. They suppress the spread of cannibalistic and necrophilic acts in society at large. There are many ways of disposing a corpse. Burning, dissolution in harsh chemicals, ingestion by all members of the community, which really links right back to that cannibalistic thing that it just mentioned that it prevents, but whatever. But by far the most popular method is burial. A grave protects the corpse against carrion eaters, serves as a place of remembrance, proclaims the merits of the deceased, and of especial importance, when all safety measures are taken, grave burial prevents the deceased from coming back and visiting their still living relatives. The commander examines the stone sarcophagus resting in the crypt of the Temple of Erastil. It is used as a feasting table for the demons until very recently. Bones are scattered across the stone top of the sarcophagus, some easily identifiable as human finger bones. A human eyeball floats unappetizingly in a clay bowl, and next to it lies a half-gnawed rib cage. The commander decides to examine the symbols on the sarcophagus. At first the symbols are unfamiliar to the commander, but his eyes soon land on a familiar combination of letters, Delamere. This is the name of the cleric Kyato mentioned in his conversation with the commander. The sarcophagus undoubtedly contains the body of a priestess of Erastil, Delamere the Blessed. It is unlikely that the young cleric could have read the inscription, written as it is in such an ancient tongue. However, this information Kyato provided is enough to help the commander unravel the mystery. On the lid of the sarcophagus, the symbols form a circle. The commander notices that the seemingly solid slab is actually composed of several pieces in this spot. The hairline joins between the fragments are almost impossible to see. In Sarkoris, there existed a funeral tradition in which priests would place magical seals, such as this, on tombs. The symbols on the seal are threatening. I guard the eternal sleep of Delamere. Cursed be to any who dare destroy me. So we could Nenio this, we could try, well, Nenio's much higher, check, we could trickery this. The commander says that the seals can probably be pried off with a knife and disassembled. Eltimar digs the tip of a knife, and in the join between the seal's fragments, he carefully nudges the knife until the seal clicks and crumbles to pieces and the lid of the sarcophagus slides open. Inside the sarcophagus lies the remains of a female archer. The bones are held together by leather armor covered in the same symbols as those on the sarcophagus, and the skeleton's hands are clutching an impressive bow made from antler. Surprisingly, there's no unpleasant smell from the remains. The commander breathes life into the old bones and summons them into his service. Little green flames spark to life inside the empty eye sockets of the once blessed Delamere. With a crunching sound, the fingers of bone clench around the bow. Her body slowly rises from the sarcophagus and takes in the crypt with hate-filled glance. From her gaping jaws emerges a rasp of vexation. Who has dared? The dead priestess glares at you, green flames raging in her empty eye sockets. What have you done to me? How dare you desecrate my remains? With each word, air from her lungs whooshes out between her ribs. Your temple has been defiled and your priest revealed to be a traitor. Delamere draws a breath like she's sniffing the air. My country, awash with corruption. Demons, cities, they defile the soul. I was right. This cleric is nothing. Bow before me, Delamere. Delamere's proud back slowly curves into a bow. Through gritted teeth she hisses, Yes, master. I have a task for you. Good, I will obey, master. Though being your slave is torment. I'll think of a use for you later. I want to know more about you. The dead priestess sears you with her gaze. Can it be that my glory has faded, and you do not know of Delamere the Blessed, priestess of Erastil who carries his bow which always flies true, or do you mock me? They say you were a great priestess, is that true? I served Erastil faithfully, I carried out his will. I fought against the filth of cities, human hives. People should not live like that, no one should. Corruption seeps from the cities. I was the protector of villages, I guarded them against marauders, against city swindlers, against internal strife, against too many people. I was known, feared, respected, and loved. I don't have any more questions. I have a task for you. I guess stay here for now. The dead priest nods silently, but her demeanor leaves you no doubt of her hatred for you. Thought we could recruit her into the group. How do we recruit her into our group? I'm going to pause for 1 second, see if I can figure this out. Hang tight. Okay, after looking around and not finding anything, and then looking into more things, you can't recruit her quite yet. We have to build some things in our city first for the Lich Path to do, so we can actually recruit her into our group. So she'll just remain there for now. But now we have a potential Delamere. And I guess now we're going to do the Ash Grotto, and that's going to be pretty well it for this particular video. And then I guess we're going to have to do the dragon. We're really running out of things to do. Sorry, Kato. These things happen, and, you know, such is life. Sometimes you get turned into paste by the commander of the crusade who you were looked up to. Feels bad, man. This is a relatively easy and quick cave. There's like 4-ish giants and some some ticks, which are actually kind of brutal, but we should be okay with this particular group. We have more AoE type stuff in this group. We're gonna get some mild buffs. Literally nothing but haste, though. Haste is really the only thing we need here.
Close ranks.
Oh right, we don't have as much AoE now. I forgot we got rid of our longsword. In fact, I should put that on, just as like a backup. Because ticks. They're immune to a lot of damage, but not immune to being slammed in the face with acid. And maybe magic missiles. They're definitely immune to magic missiles. Okay. Fine. I have fireballs. These things are super annoying. Didn't die. Next one. This tick swarm is immune to everything. Come on. Our wolf got constitution damage down really badly. What was it down to? That's not been that bad, but still. We'll be ripping out some more fireballs in the next area too. We should probably loot the stuff in here though. Not from the Ash Giant because it's worthless, but from this body.
Wherever my legs
We'll be
carry
hasting
me.
one more time. We're gonna have to rest it again anyways, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference.
You are my
But we're gonna
favorite.
cast tons of fireballs into this room. Controlled fireballs, of course.
I see blood.
Because there's gonna be more ticks. Everyone's on that guy. It just took 5 con damage? Holy shit. Really? No, just 2. Who else got hit by this? Oh, our main character. Whatever, it's fine. Let's just go with this. Just fireball there. Our main character just died. Maybe we do need some buffs. Well, fine. I will actually buff up my group a tiny bit. Get some mage armors and blurs out. Maybe just 1 mage armor.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait.
Anything new?
It's not.
Okay, that should be fine now.
I'll cut you wide open.
Actually, just you go fight that.
Slice! Behead!
Maybe. Yeah. Freaking swarms.
In our tactics.
Regil just got killed by something. Why is this group having so much trouble with this? We just all died to the stupid ticks. We'll pull the group, we'll bring them back, and we'll just fireball into the hallway. That's what we'll do.
The road calls me.
We'll back
I'll
up to like
take the
here.
bait. I crave for adventure.
Nobody else comes in here.
This way.
We'll mirror image just in case, or displacement I should say. Okay.
Blood. Blood.
One tick swarm just got hit pretty hard. But we're just gonna keep casting those endlessly. Everyone can... Come on! What the fuck hit him now? Just gonna check quickly here. It was con damage. His con went down to 0. Negative 16. That is too much con damage. I don't understand how we're supposed to defeat that. If we can kill one of the swarms. Just one. That would be super. Okay. Well, I know where one of the swarms is standing.
I refuse to accept their statement.
It made a saving throw, but still took a ton of damage. And we just need a control blast fireball. Nope, 1 more second.
Retreat is not an option.
Okay, 1 swarm's dead. Yay, we got 1 swarm. We don't have haste on, do we? We should probably get haste. No, run! Run, Nenio! Don't get hit! It's coming after her pretty good. Okay, that should get her away from the combat a little. No, crap. Right.
I will see to
Go
your
fight.
demise.
Damn it, Nenio, you went the wrong way. That's fine, I guess. This is good. This is going well. We can maybe win this fight. Stop going down weird corridors. Good God. That fight took me longer with this group than in, like, a dozen other fights. Unfortunately, I think our pets both died. At least one of them did.
Smile, the world's not ending just yet.
We can bring it back to life later. Was it a con damage related thing, or did it just get punched in the face to death? Punched in the face to death. That's okay. And of course our skeleton got murdered in like half a second. It's really not all that good, to be honest. Do we ever remove disease? We had Breath of Life. We could have brought Nenio back. Or not Nenio. We could have brought our dog back, but that's okay. This is fine. I just realized that. We have full restoration, don't we? I'm just going to burn some full restorations to get people done faster. But we did finish the fight. That was way more challenging than I expected it to be for this group. We need to get rid of that disease. It's causing some issues. Does anyone ever remove disease? Neutralize poison.
I am yours to command.
We remove curse. It's not exactly the same thing. Remove disease, perfect. Who's got the plague? Or I guess leprosy first. The plague's less important.
Rules are made to
Because I think if we use restoration, the plague will go away. The bubonic plague. Oh, she failed. I was like, thought we just cast remove disease. Try again. What the hell's the DC on this thing? DC 25, we have an 8? Shit, we need to roll super high.
It should work. Is it
Well, we'll try one more time, I guess. Failed. What do you need to dispel it? 2 consecutive saves. I guess we can try and rest and see what happens. Alternatively, we can go back to the city. Now that we successfully completed this place at a vicious cost. Jesus, that fight was insanely tough compared to what I expected it to be. We might have remove disease potions that are more powerful than Camellia. Never mind. I was wrong. We can also hit up a cleric. Unfortunately, we can't go to the hunter place and get a cleric there because we definitely left him to die.
This way.
And killed him ourselves, actually. Let's see if we can get back to Dresden. And when we get back to Dresden, hopefully we can, fingers crossed, get rid of our diseases and rest, and everything will be fine. But that's going to be pretty much the end of our video here. I'm going to try and get back to the city without dying. We have 2 leprosies. DC is 25 on that one. That one's not... Why is... Oh, they're both 23. Oh, it's a fort save, not the dispel save. I guess the dispel save is different. But we've already burned all our remove diseases, so... we don't have any choice in the matter. Apparently those diseases are very prolific. Oh, those are masterwork clubs, weren't they? Oh well. It's only a couple $100. I don't care enough to go back for them. Let's just go to the city. Fastest way is probably... Actually, it tells you. 18 hours, we can make it. We're gonna get there. Ooh, random merchant. Sold. I'm gonna go check in his stuff because maybe he's changed it by now. I like the skeletal merchant. I think he's fun. Oh, he does have new items. Cool beans. Let's go descending order. We got a belt of physical might, which is strength con. Might be worth picking up. A +3 spiked holy heavy shield. Pretty good. Lone wolf scale armor ×2. Heavy shield of elemental protection. It's actually pretty nice as well. Resurrection scroll. There are things I want to buy here. But like this is pretty damn good, but I just don't want to buy it yet. We'll meet this guy again another time. Actually, well, he does have some cool items. Like, admittedly, really cool items. I'm just going to check one thing. I want to see what his weapon selection is like. Let's swap him to weapons. I just kind of want to see what everything he has does. Oh, it's too late. Alright, never mind. We'll get to him later. To the Citadel, we might have a meeting to do quickly. These things happen. Very slow load today. We do have a meeting with Wendwog. Master, we've gained a foothold in Dresden, but I can see your army is too small to attack the Whirlwind. It's time to bring up the army of Neathers I promised you. Come to Neathholm with me, and I will get you an army that will crush any enemy. Well, let's go then. Wendwog answers with a deep fawning bow. Neathholm has been revealed. Oh, Daeran's here. Daeran looks a little... the merest trifle more serious than usual. Eltimar, we need to talk. Under strictest confidence, I'm going to invite you to a not date. Yes, you heard me, a not date. If by some chance you imagine you see wine, cushions, and treats laid out before you, you should know that it is merely an optical illusion. Great, I actually have some free time for a not date. Daeran offers his hand to you gallantly. Allow me, my lord. I'm gonna be really sad when I turn Daeran into Bugs. He is one of my favorite characters. I find him very amusing. The longer he spends alone with you, the more Daeran seems to shed his usual acerbity. His hair is tousled, and the ties on his shirt have been loosened. He sits back looking completely at ease, while his hands are lively, elegantly expressive, punctuating his speech. So we're here alone, at this utterly insignificant, tedious business meeting. Would you be so kind as to suggest a conversation starter? We need something boring and practical to talk about. Boring and practical, as you know, is not exactly my forte. The best way to scrub pots. No, this is the perfect topic for me. I possess such a vast experience in this arena after all. So pots. I know of their existence, so that's a start. I first encountered the necessity of scrubbing pots after joining your delightful party. You may be familiar with this remarkable sensation when you make a new acquaintance, but you instantly hate everything about them. Well, that sums up my attitude towards pots. Oh, I could spend hours describing my loathing for them. Daeran's eyes sparkle teasingly. Are you absolutely positive you don't want me to stop now? Well, we could really join in here. I think I know one way. Daeran holds back at first, teasingly refusing to return your kiss. But a few moments pass and suddenly, he's kissing you back with passion. He moves closer just a little, takes your hand. My wife is giving me the weirdest look right now. It's very funny. And takes your hand. I wonder if I shall come to regret this. You're dangerous. I know it. I'm no danger to you. Stop running from me. No more running. He raises your hands to his lips. Then he leans forward and passionately captures your lips with his own. Oh my. Oh, that was very funny. I got like the most what the fuck look from my wife while she's like glancing over while I'm reading that. Inexplicable power lies in the force that draws mortal bodies and souls to each other. If there's a way to measure it and compare it to other forces in the universe, it could prove to be comparable with gravity between the planets. But this force is as fragile as it is mighty. Sometimes its emergence can lead to unexpected and irreversible consequences. Night falls, and with it the commander drifts off into a deep sleep. He dreams. He sees himself from outside his body, himself and Daeran. The two lie next to each other, their hands joined. They're breathing slow and deep. The Count's hair gleams with soft golden glow, almost invisible in the light of day, but in the dark of night it's unmistakable and bewitching. Then the commander realizes it's not simply seeing himself from outside this dream. He is seeing himself through someone's eyes. Someone is near. They're watching from the darkness, watching closely, but indifferently. Or perhaps the commander can sense only the gaze, but not the emotions of the invisible observer. The observer's attention is fixed on the naked bodies. The observer does not move, and they make no attempt to turn away or come closer. They simply watch, and watch, and watch. Let's give ourselves over to the dream, I'm curious. Eltimar lets a strange vision take over. The hours of the night drag on, and nothing changes. The couple continue to sleep, exhausted from love-making. Someone is watching, only the very break of dawn, when Daeran turns over with a slight sigh. Slowly coming to wakefulness, does the dream loosen its grip. And we wake up. Did we actually rest? Are people not dying anymore? He's definitely got ash leprosy still. That's unfortunate. But our pets don't, so that's a plus. Alright, well, I think we're gonna have to... Oh, I guess if we leave the room, it's over. Should I have not left the room? Whatever. Let's try and rest one more time. Does that actually count as a rest? Whatever. We'll see if we lose the ash life. We'll just go like this. No, it definitely counts as a rest. 6 hours, 38 minutes passed. And everyone healed.
Wherever my legs
I'm actually going to
carry
go
me.
back and do that really quickly one more time. And I'm going to try and rest and cure our Ash leprosy, but there's nothing else to do in this video other than that, so I will leave the video here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Others, I'll see you next time. Take care.